Hi Scorpio, welcome back. This is your June 2026 reading, general messages for the collective. So I'm going to start off with an oracle card and then move into the tarot, wrap it with some more oracles so we get a nice full message for June. Spirit guys, support me in connecting to Scorpio. May all messages be for the highest good of all involved with harm to none. All right, what's the message for Scorpio? What's their theme for June 2026? All right, my loves, you have all that glitters. So a message here, you know the saying, all that glitters isn't gold. But on the flip side of that as well, don't judge a book. Don't judge things because they don't look all sparkly and shiny like you expect the treasure to look. It's all about perception and perspective on things. But just remember that, make sure that whatever you are calling in is exactly what you want. Make sure that whatever you receive is what you want. At the bottom is flexible. So something come in underneath the surface of your June, something comes in, you asking for whatever it is, and it doesn't come in exactly the way, the time, how you expected it. You have to stay flexible with things. You cannot denounce things just because they don't look exactly the way how you anticipated, because it could take some time further down the road. You realize, oh, okay, I understand now why things worked out the way they did, right? There's chaos and conflict underneath here, so you could be feeling a little bit conflicted in some way about something, but it could perhaps be only based on appearance and not what it really is. Loyal heart is underneath chaos and conflict, so you could be questioning somebody close to you on their actions, but then realize you got it wrong. It was your perception and not what the truth really was. Top of the deck is round and round, so something coming around again in your face, in your life, very clear and obvious, present in your life, that reminds you of something that happened last year, that happened 2 years, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Situations, same situations or same people in different fonts. It might appear that way, but the question is, are you going around in circles or are you in a spiral? Is there movement? Have you come around to a familiar point in order to learn something that you can continue to elevate? Are you elevating every time? Are you learning the lessons faster, right? At the heart is chopped wood. So don't lose sight of the mundane, everyday things. They might seem boring and dry and all of this, but they're also important. So cleaning, keeping your space clean, clutter free. All of these, the day-to-day, the picking it after yourself, the laundry, washing dishes, all of these things might seem, making the bed might seem mundane and boring, but they have value, right? Making your bed, that's a great way to remediate your Saturn. If you're looking to make things easier when it comes to Saturn, fixing your bed supports that. It creates order. There's discipline involved in that, right? So chop wood. If you want your new life, there's truth be told, chop wood, and new life. And if you want your new life, it's the day-to-day things, steps that you take that help to build where it is that you are headed, where it is that you want to move towards. All right, so your outcome might be shiny and glowing and glittering and sparkling, but the path to that is chop wood. Path to that might be boring. And but there's commitment involved for you to get from point A to point Z. But it's like you don't want to see how the sausage is made. You just want the sausage, right? Think of it that way. All right, let's see what's going on for you, Scorpio. All right, loves, you have the Nine of Wands, King of Cups, and the Hanged One. So you could be feeling as if things moving a little bit slower in June. You have your defenses up, your boundaries are up, or you're feeling defensive. Part of it could be that you need to work on your emotional self and balancing that emotional self and feeling a sense of order, even when things around you are topsy-turvy. You still maintain a sense of order. You have the Eight of Wands here. Judgment. So in order for you to get the lessons, to get the messages, to get clarity on how you are moving forward or progressing or working towards something, there must be stillness. You have to incorporate a level of stillness in this. All right, that's how you will gain the enlightenment in order to be able to feel renewed, reinvigorated. That's where the resurrection will come. So don't ignore the need to be still. Don't ignore the call to move slow and to take your time in making decisions. Let's see, at the heart is the Nine of Swords. So you feel worried. Meanwhile, you're going through a whole change. You're going through a whole dynamic change. You're going through a whole dark night of the soul. But what comes after the end of the dark night of the soul? But the sun comes up. Look at this. Being transformed, and in the transformation, you could be feeling uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable. You're being asked to be still. You don't know everything that there is to be known. You outside of your comfort zone. So you expecting the worst, but you truly transforming, and you into the Empress. Oh, my light is going out. All right, my light is going out. We're gonna keep pushing through. Yeah, you being transformed, and it feels uncomfortable, and you expect that the worst is happening. The sky is falling, and it really isn't. There's big changes happening for you. There's a momentum happening for you. You feel nervous, you feel anxious, you don't know why. You could feel something changing, but you expecting it's the worst when it really isn't. So how are you going to get through the King of Cups energy? How are you going to get through the Nine of Swords energy? Is through the King of Cups energy. Meditation, lots of naps, resting, going for walks in nature, moving your body, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, Pilates, journaling. That's how you come out of the dialogue that's keeping you gripped. You have to work through it, through the emotional turmoil. So when you feel like your hair standing up on end, and you feel that you need to be defensive, and you feel jumpy and just irritated, that's when you go inwards. That's when you step away from the crowd, go inwards, move slow. You'll be able to then see what's really happening, what's really changing, what's being presented to you. All right, let's see any potential obstacles. What's the potential obstacles in June that they should be aware of? All right, so we have the Chariot and the Nine of Pentacles. Let's get one other card for this, because this looks very good to me. It doesn't look like an obstacle. But it could be, let's see. We need one card for Scorpio's obstacles. The moon. So I was going to say it could be enjoying too much, if that's such a thing, like overindulging. And then I see the moon, and the moon is Pisces, and Pisces drink like a fish. You know the saying, they can drink like a fish. Um, I feel like the potential obstacles is overindulgence in some way, and also worrying. So you in a position, you move out of a position of lack, could be a position of lack, and you move into a sense of feeling comfortable. Your money is comfortable. You have more than enough, or you have enough to get yourself going. And then, but there's still this sense of worry. What if I run out? And these thoughts keep piling up, and then you create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your money somehow doesn't stick. You have to be very mindful of your thoughts. In June, there is potential for movement, for momentum. You have the Chariot and the Eight of Wands, so things are moving forward. This could also be in love. All right, love could be coming in for some of you as well. There could also be a fear of being seen in enjoying life. You know, some people could feel like they have to hide comfort, they have to hide enjoying their lives. And I don't feel, why would you feel that you need to hide to enjoy? Why do you feel that you have to downplay your success in some way? Queen of Staffs here, Temperance, and Three of Cups. All right, let's see potential breakthroughs. Potential breakthroughs for Scorpio. All right, you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Magician. All right, I feel like the breakthrough here is knowing when to take action. Also knowing that not taking action is action. There's power in not taking action. Again, this reminder here with the Hanged One. The breakthrough is knowing when to take action, and knowing that part of action and part of growth and part of manifestation is knowing when to break, when to take a nap, when to rest, when to sleep, when to enjoy yourself, when to get dressed up and look pretty and be recognized and be seen, and find power in being seen and perceived. The Eight of Cups. Knowing when to leave, knowing when to walk away from mediocrity, and knowing when to allow yourself goodness and not be afraid of, again, perception. I feel you're not doing the wrong thing. Ask your angels. You haven't made the wrong decision. Things happening behind the scenes that you're not aware of. Trust that you are being led to greatness. Stop worrying about it. Opportunity is here. Forgiveness keeps showing up in these readings, and don't stop. I'm telling you, y'all going in the right direction. Abundance. Improving health. Big happy changes. One after the next here. And I see get more information. Let's see. The heart is there's something better within the next few months and a year from now. Within the next few months, you'll be a completely different person. A year from now, you'll be a completely different person. There's something about a car as well. Being mindful of whose car you get in. Being mindful of whose car you get in. Being mindful of who you share your goodness with. And this could also be an overall sense of not paranoia, but you being very aware. You're being very aware of things and people and actions and how people moving and all of this. Let's see what's going on with your money and career for Scorpio. All right, I can pivot under any and all conditions. I can pivot in any and all conditions. You have the ability to pivot under any and all conditions, but most of you are habitual in nature, and your patterns are so well entrenched that at times the fastest path to the joy you seek for you to take your pivot. But most of you are habitual in nature, and your patterns are so well entrenched that at times the fastest path to the joy you seek is for you to take your pivot as you sleep. By reaching for good feeling thoughts before you go to sleep and then experiencing the benefit of the quiet mind that occurs while you sleep, and then upon awakening, immediately turning to good feeling thoughts, you can accomplish the ultimate pivoting experience. I can make a career of living happily ever after. Let's get animals and ancestors, angels and ancestors card. We have direction guardian. Choose your path. Choose your path. Medicine mother, honor your inner knowing. Winter, take care of your needs. Druid, hold the space. Choose your path. Chameleon spirit, act as if, right? So pivoting, good feeling thoughts, choosing your path, choosing your thoughts, choosing your perception. What are you imagining? Acting as if until the 3D catches up. Use your mind wisely, pig spirit. Use your mind wisely, Scorpio. Moth spirit, surrender now. That hanged one. And lizard spirit, dream the world into being. So all your cards are about manifestation. Give with gratitude and grace, turkey spirit. And ant spirit, time to collaborate. Act as if, use your mind wisely. Dream your life into being, surrender now. Dream the world into being. Wow. All right, Scorpio, let's get your moon card. Let's see. We have a new start is coming, new moon. Your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. Communication is key, new moon in Gemini. All new moon cards. And at the heart is your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. New moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side. Wow, that was a beautiful reading, Scorpio. A new start is coming. Trust Trust, trust, trust. It feels uncomfortable because you don't know, you can't see, you can't foresee. You feel the changes coming, but it feels like because you're expecting the worst. But how about if everything happens in the most beautiful, unfolds in the most beautiful ways? What if that happens? What if goodness happens for you? All right, loves, that is your message for June. I hope y'all have a beautiful June. Subscribe, drop a comment, let me know how y'all feel. And it really does help my channel. And until your next message, my loves, be well.